Yes, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We've done another week. Congratulations. And obviously, we play Crystal Palace at the London Stadium tomorrow, 3 p.m. kickoff. And we'll have the match day morning as per usual to get you in the mood for maintaining the Graham Potter 100% home record. Now, tonight, 7 p.m., Rush Green, West Ham under 21s versus Sunderland under 21s. Get your ass down there. Season ticket holders, it's free. And also, if you pay in the door, it's like a couple of quid. Get down there. Be great to get, more than a few hundred there tonight if possible. If you can't make that, I'm marking your card now. Tuesday night, Dagenham and Redbridge. It's the National League Cup crucial group game, the final group game against Dagenham and Redbridge. West Ham under 21s versus Dagenham and Redbridge. And also, there will be the Premier League trophy there. I've been reliably informed. The Premier League trophy will be there. And under 16s go for free. So even if you're a kid down the road, just go. It's free. Under 16s are free. And they're bringing the Premier League trophy down. So you might get your hands on the trophy, but as closer to the Premier League trophy as West Ham will ever be. If you can't make that, next Friday at Rush Green again. I've given you a week's warning. Get your ass down there. Anyway, it's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. And we're going to do a mashup. Like 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. We're going to do Hammers Headlines meets the Russy Rumour Roundup, the Triple R. And we've got a lot to get through, a lot of transfer rumours to get through. So let's start. We'll start with midfielders and Serie A midfielders. According to Inter Live, they reported yesterday that West Ham are looking at the Inter Milan midfielder Christian Asiliani, who is struggling apparently to make an impact at the Italian champions. Sounds perfect for us. He's had an inconsistent few weeks and has been criticised for his performances, and Inter are not ruling out an exit this month. West Ham apparently have made their voices heard for the 22-year-old Albanian midfielder. He's in demand, apparently, across not only Italy but abroad in general. Interest in Italy from likes of Fiorentina and Torino, and they have already tried to land him. West Ham have been handed encouragement in the move because the report states that Inter already have a replacement lined up, and they're moving for Samuel Ricci, who will make it easier for them to let go of Asliani. So there's no doubt we need, for me, it's that second midfielder alongside an Alvarez, a box to box, just to give us a bit more energy. Whether there's no costs. We don't. No cost. We don't know how much it costs. So that's probably about it. Really. So I'm going to give it a Lamar. He's getting Lamar. He's getting a 50-50. Because there's clearly a need. Arguably, there's probably more need for a striker than a midfielder at the moment if we're prioritising it. But should have done that way, sponsored by Red Bull. Product placement. But I think he's young. He's, and he's one of these ones. And again, a slight MO of a Tim Stein recruitment process is also getting players who maybe have not had the best move and to almost reinvigorate their career because they get them at a slightly cheaper rate as well than someone who's at the top of their game. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll keep an eye on that one. Next up, West Ham and Spurs are apparently in the mix to sign Barcelona forward Ansu Fati. That's according to Sport, who claim the winger is expected to leave La Liga side in the winter transfer window. With Hansi Flick, the Barcelona manager, he's left him out of the squad for the last 3 games, and Barcelona are considering letting him go out on loan. We apparently are interested in bringing him. He struggled when he was on loan at Brighton last season. Obviously, we're looking to improve our attack. Is Fati Is Fatty like the answer? I don't think he is. I think we've got enough of those sort of diminutive, small type players already, the likes of Somerville, Kudus, Bowen. Do we really need a fourth one? I don't think we do. We're not the only. He says we're the only two Premier League sides in for him, but I'm sure there'll be a number of other clubs around Europe looking to bring him in. His name value as well. But I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. But you never know with West Ham, do you? You never know. It could mean, for example, that they push Kudus more into a central striker role, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to give it a 60. The reason why I'm giving it a 60 is it's a loan. And we know that we're probably going to be looking at utilising the loan market. So that's why I've put him in there. Let's go to out-and-out strikers. Now, a name who is appearing on shortlists, apparently, within West Ham is Nikola Krostovic. Nikola Krostovic. Yeah, that'll do. The Lecce striker. He's of interest to the club. He moved to Lecce for around 2 million quid, an absolute bargain, really. And he could be up to about 15 to 20 million pounds at the moment. The Montenegro striker, he has a decent hit rate in terms of goals to games. But apparently, according to reports, he's only on £8,000 a week. So there would be a significant bump in price. I think there is slight concern internally about, laying out 15 to 20 million quid on him. As I said, he's only just really moved to a sort of big name club on the, a sort of big six club in terms of the countries. But again, he's that type of player who could be that sort of Moneyball type player. As I said, he's got a decent, 200, was it 200? He got there 256 games, 65 goals. Yeah, ain't a bad hit rate. It's 1 in every 2.5, pretty much. And full Montenegro international as well. Could be an outside chance. I'm going to give it a 60%. I give it a 60%. Now, we apparently, I'm going to say a big apparently, have also been looking at the MLS. And some younger talent in the MLS has been touted. It's quite interesting with the MLS because we were linked with Valentin Castellanos from New York City a few years ago, quite heavily actually. And there's a few that have been sort of mentioned, but one of them is the former Watford striker, Cucho Hernandez. His contract ends in December this year. So again, part of the MO, as well as finding players who maybe are not hitting the ground running as such in terms of their current club, he's also looking for players who are coming to the end of their contracts. And obviously he's entering the final year of their contract. So Columbus Crew may decide to sort of cash in, so to speak, on Cucho Hernandez. He featured in 41 games during and contributed 39 goals in all competitions. He's got Premier League experience. He scored against, was it Arsenal? And he grabbed a brace against Southampton. So he does have Premier League experience. The only fly in the ointment for me is his size. He doesn't really, for me, fit the profile of the type of striker that we're looking for. Better than 1 in 3. And most of the strikers we sort of link to them forwards do tend to have sort of 1 in 3 sort of goal to game ratio. Again, someone who's going to be under the radar a little bit. Personally, for me, I think Rodrigo Núñez is the one I think we're probably more likely to get, in all honesty. So that's why I've given Cucho a 40%, 4 out of 10 in the Russy B rating. Now, a player who X has mentioned on his one of his podcasts is the Genk Nigerian international forward Tulo Alo. That's definitely not how you pronounce it. Arocadale. Tulo Arocadale, that'll do. Who is a player of interest by X, as mentioned in terms of internally from the club. Again, a situation where not too much known about him. Not the I mean, what is he? Again, 1 in 3. He's 6'6". So for me, there's a little bit more, as I said, and I've mentioned this many a time. Under Potter, the player we always feared the most was Glenn Murray, who he wasn't gonna beat anyone for pace. He wasn't gonna run in behind the back, but he was lethal. He was clinical. He would bring in others, knock on, sort of head ons, flick ons, hold up play. And that's sort of how that sort of central striker works under proper Potter ball. We haven't had proper Potter ball at the Tuesday game because we didn't really have that sort of central striker. So for me, someone like Tulo could be an interesting alternative. He's a big lad as well. So, very, very tall. As a Nigerian international player as well. And the Pro League in Belgium is an area we are looking at as well because there's a lot of talent within that. Do you remember we were linked with Van Akan from Club Bruges, weren't we? Honey Van Akan. And various others. Noah Lang when he was at Club Bruges and stuff like that. It's an area apparently we're looking at because there is a lot of value. And again, we've spoken about the role of Maximilian Hahn in terms of his analytics. There's discussions with AWS, the Amazon Web Service, of us using their, buying their data or buying their data warehouse in order to sort of manipulate and work on massive recruitment data in very, very quickly. And obviously there's mention of us maybe getting Amazon Prime as a sponsor after the Betway contract is finished. But clearly someone like Alui will come up in the will come up within the sort of the research, within the analysis, because he's a big lad. He's got, better than slightly, pretty much 1 in 3 goal scoring record, but it's what he can contribute to the game. And I think that's what we see. That's what we see beyond as well. For me, it's not necessarily how many goals they've got, because actually it's their link up play, it's their flick ons, it's their assists. That's what will benefit West Ham in terms of Potable, in my humble opinion. But he's one of many we've been linked to. Over about 50 now we've been linked with names. So I'm going to give it a Lamar, giving it 50-50. One player who's definitely not signing for West Ham is the Hoffenheim striker, Mergim Marisha. Now, according to reports, intermediaries or his agent has basically offered him to West Ham, and West Ham have rejected it out of mind. He's not someone of interest at all to us, despite, stats-wise, 6'2", 26, ain't the worst stats in the world in terms of physicality, in terms of what we need. Similar heights, similar build to someone like Nicholas Füllkrug, albeit 5 years younger. But apparently he's not on the radar. So he gets the first ever, I think, 0% chance. So guarantee he'll be in a West Ham shirt by the time we play next week. There's plenty of others. There's lots of interest around a lot of other players. There's the likes of one name that's been sort of mentioned in passing to me is the former Tottenham striker Troy Parrott, who's currently AZ Alkmaar, particularly as he's a Will Salthouse client. But he's only just signed. He only signed in the summer for AZ Alkmaar, so I can't really see that happening. And also, we've been told to keep an eye on Jonathan Rowe potentially. He's currently on loan at Marseille, but his contract expires in the summer. Which is a very strange situation. A bit like Kurt Zuma, his obviously contract runs out, and then after his loans, as his loan spell finishes, and then the assumption is he'll be signing full time for Alaroba, although they're not doing very well at the moment. But anyway, don't forget to check out kneesupmotherbrown.com for latest news, reviews, opiniones, all that good stuff. And until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, and come on, you bloody irons.